everyone. As you probably have noticed, I'm getting to the swing of competitive decks once again. I'm now playing your very typical RP deck. I don't need to explain it too much. It's your regular glacier RP. But I'm testing out Mutate in this deck. Now, I think Mutate is a very good meta call currently, and even for regional season, when Clock comes in, criminals are going to die down because there is less of a need for such fast runners. In the event that lots of shapers with parasite recursion and anarchs with three parasites because they can play it, Mutate suddenly becomes a very, very good card. And I think it is worth it because it will save a lot of credits and a lot of time. So, let's get started. I keep my opening hand because it contains Eli, even against prepaid Kate, what seems to be prepaid Kate anyways. Seeing an Eli in your opening hand is a godsend, especially considering I'm only running 2 copies of it. So I'm not going to take my chances, I'll just keep it so I can get a safe opening with 2 ice to begin with. Now, it doesn't contest my daily business show, thankfully, so I actually managed to get it off. This will help me filter out my deck, and hopefully I'll see my economy faster, because I really, really need that economy. So he plays a Mimic and runs my hand. I'm very tempted to res the Eli here, but I decide not to. If he steals the Kronos project, it's no biggie. It's only 1 agenda point. And he runs twice. The second time, he installs a Utopia Shard. I didn't want to res the Eli because I needed to save money to res the Komainu or to play a hedge fund. So I did draw into a Sundew, and that's very good news. I'm definitely going to get 1 Sundew tick off, bringing me to 6 credits. Now, the ice that's protecting the Sundew is a Lotus Field. Lotus Field is horrible against prepaid Kate, so I didn't want to install it. That's why it's not on my centrals, but I needed a piece of ice to protect the Sundew, knowing that he will play aggressively against it, so I had to protect my remote with the Lotus Field, knowing that Cyber Cypher will come sooner or later. Anyway, if I manage to bait his Cyber Cypher on the Sundew remote, that's all good, because it means that that's 1 less Cyber Cypher to deal with. Yeah, so you want to place your taxing eyes, your sharp, pointy, dangerous eyes on your centrals, and the taxing eyes on remotes. Lotus Field is not taxing eyes, so it's actually subpar that the Lotus Field is on the remote. Unfortunately, he finds a Nisei, so that puts him on the board, and that steals 1 Nisei from me. That's not good. Alright, and he does find his Cyber Cypher as expected, and because of that, he trashes my Sundew. Now, the good news is he's completely poor. The bad news is I'm also completely poor. We are both on 0 credits. I now have 1 thanks to Mental Health Clinic. And I very luckily draw into a Sundew, along with a Celebrity Gift. Daily Business Show is being evil to me. I can't keep both. I trash the Business Show because obviously Sundew will pay off much more in the long run. And I don't have enough cards in hand to play Celeb Gift anyway. So I do get 1 free turn of Sundew off, and I draw into a Pup. Pup is very nice, so there's already a Pup on my archives. That's pretty much the best archives ice you're going to get, because it will always force 2 credits or 2 net damage from the runner if they choose to deactivate it before challenging your remote. Then I place a Pup on HQ as well. Again, this is to ensure that he's forced to pay 2 credits every time he wants to challenge something in my remote. Now, because he's on 2 cards, he does the right thing here. He abuses the fact that Komainu has very few subroutines and performs a Maker's Eye run, which yields nothing, only trashing a Caprice Nisei. And finally, he plays a Parasite on my Komainu, so the Komainu will die next turn. And I look in my hand, there's a Kronos project. Let's play the Kronos project. I saw that he saw the Mental Health Clinic on the top of my deck, so I'm installing this Kronos project quickly, making him believe that that is a Mental Health Clinic, but that is, in fact, my Kronos project. Next turn, the Parasite will die. If he doesn't check that remote, I will score the Kronos project, and he will have no Parasites to play with. That will be huge against prepaid Kate. If they cannot recur their Parasites, your Surugis and Komainus are good. That's what I'm looking to do. So, of course, I had to give up R&D for that. And there you notice that I did not play my hedge fund, and I did not draw cards. That's because I don't want him to see any additional new cards, since he played a Maker's Eye last turn. So indeed, he does not run my Kronos project, and as a result, I trash his entire heap. That doesn't really matter. There's only a couple of lucky finds and gambles. Most importantly, the Parasite is gone. I don't have to worry about ice destruction anymore, so Mutate won't come into that much play this game. But still, yes, it's a small little victory for me after having my Nisei stolen. So here I draw up with Jackson, and I finally find my ice. It took me quite a long time to find a replacement for that Komaino, but I finally did in the form of Tsurugi. Perfect replacement, I should add. Cost me 6 to res, 4 for him to break, and without Parasite, he will have to pay 4 every single time. That is a pretty nasty central ice. Alright, and he trashes my... No, he doesn't trash my daily business show because he doesn't have enough money. He just dirty laundries it for the money. Dirty laundry money. So, the question is, when do you play Enhanced Login Protocol? I'm still not safe. It's still not safe enough to play ELP because R&D can be broken for 4 credits. He can easily recur Maker's Eye and deactivate my ELP. So I'm going to leave it there first. I'm going to play Celebrity Gift so that I have enough credits to res lots of ice. I do have quite a few ice here. A Tsurugi and an Eli, both really nasty ice. I'm definitely looking to place the Eli on my remote. Eli doesn't tax prepaid kit at all, so hopefully on the remote it will probably be able to suck away Cerberus tokens. That's my hope. We'll see if that happens. So the Tsurugi has to go on R&D because R&D is the primary mode of attack for prepaid kit. You have to protect R&D with that Tsurugi. So this basically forces him to pay 8 credits every time he wants an R&D run. So I'm basically completely sealing him off R&D, which should be good. With my remote, I can protect it with Caprice Nisei and Ash. So that is my hope there. And since he's not contesting my daily business show or my mental health clinic, I'm getting lots of good cards and lots of money. He is still pretty rich because he found his 3 prepaid voice pets so early on, and that's really helping him a lot. But I'm pretty sure he'll be very starved out of R&D. 8 credits to run, no option of Parasite. That really hurts. So he Cyber Ciphers my HQ blindly, very interesting choice. Here I decide to keep the Lotus Field over the War of Thorns, both suck against Kate. Lotus Field sucks less because he has already placed both of his Cyber Ciphers on the floor, so a Lotus Field on R&D will actually mess him up quite big time. So now it's the time to start interning my Caprice Nisei. If I draw into an agenda next turn, I'll be prepared to score it. Well, not really. I don't like my remote at all. It only costs 2 credits to break with the dog and Cyber Cipher. So that's the really horrible thing. Against Kate, most of your eyes are rendered untaxing. The sentries can be broken, can be destroyed with Parasite. The Lotus Field is useless, War of Thorns is useless. The only good eyes I have is Tollbooth. Eli is useless as well. So he attempts to find an agenda in my hand. I'm happy to say that I have none. All that he can do is to trash my Ash if he accesses it. So yes, he does bring out his doggy for a walk and attempts to run on my hand again with Nerve Agent. A very interesting choice. He finds my Ash but chooses not to trash it. Well, he can't. So, Celebrity Gift and Mutate. I finally found what I needed. The Mutate to mutate my Lotus Field into a Quandary. Well, any other ice, seriously, any other ice would have cost him more than 1 credit to break. The only good news is that since he doesn't have Parasite, a Quandary is essentially equivalent to a Lotus Field. But really, anything else, an Eli, a Tsurugi, a pup, even a pup would have done more work than a stupid Quandary on that remote. I was looking for anything else, really. Very disappointing, but well, that's life with Mutate. You roll the dice and it doesn't come out in favor of me. In fact, if anything, I lost the 2 credits from playing that Mutate, so that's horrible. So, knowing that it's now or never, I'm going to attempt to score the Nisei. If I don't score it now, he's going to run my hand, he's going to find it. His Nerve Agent's loaded, that's not good news. So with my last click, I take a credit. So I can only hope that my Caprice Nisei and my ELP can defend against his onslaught. So clearly he'll only have 2 chances at my remote because of ELP. So I hope that he'll fail both side games. I know that he can easily get through my remote twice. The question is, will he win the side game? So I'm going to bet 0 here because everyone bets 1 on their first go. So hopefully, of course he wins the side bit and he trashes my Caprice and he steals my Nisei, the second copy of Nisei, bringing up 4 points. This sucks. I can't catch a break, can I? Well, I can, because I just found a Caprice Nisei thanks to Daily Business Show. That business show is doing heavy work. And he has very few dog tokens left, so I'm happy to install the Nisei in the remote while waiting for the next agenda or more ice. I really need thicker ice on that remote. So HQ is now completely vulnerable, but I'm quite fine with it because I have two things protecting me. The remote is more secure than my HQ, which means that if I find any agendas, they are getting pumped in the remote instead of staying in HQ. More importantly, Daily Business Show means that I will never draw into agendas unless I want to. He scavenges his dog. And this time, he doesn't make it through my remote. So I do find a Nisei, which I'm really tempted to score. That's my last Nisei Mark II, but I know I can't defend it, so I go for the safer hedge fund. I need the money anyways. Over to him. Yeah, this Eli and Quandary remote is horrible. It only costs 2 credits to get through. I'm really hoping that I can find something bigger. A Komainu, a Tsurugi, anything at this point will do. The Yagura is decent. It's better than a Quandary, definitely. Not by much. But I'd rather put it on R&D. The thing is, he's completely locked out of R&D at this point. There's no point in fortifying R&D. It already costs 8 credits to get through. So I'm not worried about R&D. As such, I place the Yagura on the remote, if only as psychological deterrence. Now here I do something risky. I draw it with Jackson. I say it's risky because if I draw an agenda, I need to place it in the remote. Because he has a loaded nerf agent. And HQ is pretty cheap to get through. So I pretend that what I just drew into is a Philotic Entanglement or maybe another Chronos project. I place it in the fortified remote. Hopefully that will bait him into running it. So he does run my R&D, Dirty Laundry it, and that cost him 8 credits. He basically spent more money breaking through, even with the Dirty Laundry. Following that, he tries my remote, and I show him the Yagura. Of course, he has to pay lots of money to get through. I'm draining his credits like crazy. And hopefully I win the side game this time. I bet 0 again. Of course, he bet 0 every single time. That's the second time I lost a side game out of 3. That's so unlucky. On the bright side, it wasn't an agenda that I was missing. It was a mental health clinic. So, yes, I draw up with Jackson. And I find a celebrity gift. I play it. Now, this is a risky move because he has 3 nerf agent tokens. He'll access 4 cards next turn if he runs in. I'm just hoping that with 5 credits on his credit pool, he cannot run my server, my HQ too many times. 2 times max, actually, because he only has 2 green dot counters left. So I'm just basically hoping at this point that I can defend the future perfect for 2 side games. So here comes the first side game. He accesses 4 cards, the last of which is the future perfect. I'm going to bet 1 this time, and of course he bets 1, so he wins 3 out of 4 side games to win the entire game. Bad luck with the side games, certainly. Bad luck with Mutate, obviously. If there was one thing that I could have played better, it was R&D. Now, double Tsurugi basically completely sealed him out of R&D. That was the good news. The problem is, maybe that was overkill. An Eli on R&D would have sufficed. A pup on R&D would have sufficed, in addition to the first Tsurugi, of course. Placing 2 Tsurugis there means that I don't have enough Tsurugis to protect my HQ, to protect my remote. And that was the reason I lost. I forced him to run my remote multiple times, at least 3 or 4 times this game. It didn't cost him anything at all, just a couple of dog tokens and a few credits. Pennies. Yeah, and even though repeatedly winning the side game didn't help on his part, I should have taxed him way more every time he tried to contest my remote with a Tsurugi. So yeah, good eyes like Tsurugi and Komainus are not seen very often. They are pretty valuable assets, and I should be placing them in the right places. That is something I can improve on as I continue to learn how to play RP better. Thanks for watching. Happy net running. Goodbye.